The social work never challenged some of the basic assumptions about welfare in terms of foster care and adoption. People got to understand that only 3 to 5% of the children who are defined as foster children, who are abandoned and neglected by their parents, who find their way into the system, have any psychological dysfunction. Mm-hmm. But by policy, we don't want them to bond with the foster parents, so we deliberately move them, a series of moves, so the average child in foster care comes in as an infant and remains there 10 years, has experienced 5 or 6 moves.
And every move is an electric jolt to the psyche.
It does, and there is dysfunction. And the more the child then begins to act out against these changes, the more distant the child is from a stable home, yeah, and the more money the system makes off of the child. So that the agency that I work for instance, received $10,000 per child in foster care. But if that child had to be put in a group home, then the agency's reimbursement was more like $13,000. Then if the child went into a psychiatric group home, the reimbursement was $17. And they went into a psychiatric facility, then it could be $125,000 per year. So there were perverse in financial incentives for the system in which I was operating to really destroy children. I defined it as we injure children with the helping hand.
And not just children. I mean, there's, in a lot of areas, there's good money to be made in poverty.
Yes. And I remember also at the New York Bar Association, I had a debate one night during that period with the head of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And about almost midway through the debate, I said, Julius Chambers, his name was, very fine man, an honorable man. But I asked Julius, I said, Julius, we have 2 scenarios. You have school A, that is all black, where there's the presence of academic excellence. School B, that's integrated, where there's diminished excellence. Where should we send our children? He said, school B. I said, this debate is over. If that's your fundamental premise, that proximity to white people is tantamount, is more important than excellence. What I was promoting, I believe if you pursue excellence, that's the best way to integrate. When Marvin Collins in the black community in Chicago set up a private school, taking only the kids that the public school had given up on, and she came up with creative ways to teach kids who were educationally disadvantaged, whites from the suburbs began to bring their children in to her school for education. So we should create centers of educational excellence and then broadcast this to the world and then let people will always integrate into excellence.